All right. We want to start off by giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rukakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth. And I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, we're back with another lesson. And this one's going to be titled, An Evildoer's Judgment is Death. All right? An evildoer's judgment is death. All right? And, although, these evil men and women are running around, okay, doing whatever they want, all right? And, the Lord is putting off, okay, making that judgment sweeter when it comes, okay? They think that everything's all good, okay? Not understanding that the wages of sin is death, all right? Especially for our people. Okay, and in the times that we're in, and we're going to keep prophesying about the times we're in. We're going to keep prophesying about the end, all right? We're going to keep giving you warning, all right? Because this is the times that we're in, all right? This is not the time to be out there, all right, fucking around, okay, with your life, all right? But we understand that through prophecy, 2/3 are not going to listen, all right? They're not going to hearken unto the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They're going to keep doing the evil that they're doing, all right? And they're going to receive their punishment from the hand of the Lord when Yahushua comes back, all right? It is not going to profit you, okay, on the day of the Lord's return, right, for being a evildoer, a sinner, okay? And yeah, we look at them and we're like, damn, man, we in this ministry, we suffering, all right? We catching hell, okay? Looked upon as outcasts, as all these niggas is broke and mad and whatnot, okay? All right? But this all has a purpose, all right? And then we look at them and it's like, yeah, they prospering. They doing what they doing, okay? It looks like they're getting away with it, all right? But no, the Lord is just giving them rope for them to hang themselves, okay? An evildoer's judgment is going to be death, all right? And it's going to be a grievous death, all right? As it says in 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 12, all right? They shall know it death by pain, okay? See a lot of people out here, man, all right? They scoffing, they laughing, all right? They talk shit, okay? Even people I know, all right? Even people I know. And there's going to be a real good, I told you so moment, okay? When these judgments come, all right? Now they're looking at you as in for answers, Hey, and it's whatever spirit the Lord puts on you. Maybe the Lord will have mercy on that person and you might direct them. But for the most part, the Lord said he's going to cleave our tongues to the roof of our mouths, man. We're not going to tell you shit, all right? You're going to have to go that way and go find your answers wherever you was lingering at, before, these evils came upon you, okay? So it's like they say, right? They hate the warrior, okay? They hate the warrior until the enemy's at the gate, right? And that's the position we're in because we're fighting for this truth. We're spiritual warriors, right? So they're going to hate us until the enemy's at the gate, until Jacob's trouble comes, right? And all hell breaks loose. All of a sudden, we're going to be the good guys, right? Well, you can't yikwab the Lord. All right, you can't have your feet out and then all of a sudden try to jump in the ship. No, man, you're going to drown. Okay, you're going to drown in your misery. You're going to drown with your decisions on the day of judgment. Okay, so let's start off right with the first book. Okay, of Peter, chapter 3. We're going to start at verse 12.
There's the book of 1 Peter, chapter 3, and verse 12. For the eyes of the Lord are over the righteous, and his ears are open unto their prayers.
See that? So the eyes of the Lord, okay, are over the righteous, those that are doing right by him, okay? Right? They repented. They're keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of their ability. But most importantly, they have faith in him and his only begotten son, right? They have faith in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right? And they're waiting patiently, which the word patient means to long suffering. All right. So the Lord, right, his eyes are over the righteous and his ears are open unto their prayers. Okay. Go ahead.
But the face of the Lord is against them that do evil.
See, but the face of the Lord is against them that do evil. All right? So all you people that, running around, doing your shit, all of a sudden something bad happens, you kneel down and you praying to sweet Jesus, okay? The Lord ain't listening to your prayers. And although it might look like, oh, he answered my prayers, the problem goes away for a bit, the Lord is setting you up for something bigger, okay?
And who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good?
You see that? And who is he that will harm you, if ye be followers of that which is good? All right? And this is important times to understand that, okay? Because Esau, which is the Lord's sword, is about to let loose through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, okay? And you see this man's back is against the wall. And when the animal's back is against the wall, he cannot do nothing else but attack, okay? He goes to his natural instincts, all right? And guess what? Esau, his natural instinct is to be a cunning hunter, all right, and to use the sword. Those were his blessings, right? So these are the times that we in, all right? So we need to hold on to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai more and more, right? Hold on to this truth, okay? And keep praying for faith, right? And for mercy, okay? But if you're an evildoer, just understand, you're not going to be protected, all right? The angels of the Lord, right? The angels of the Lord, what does it say? The angels of the Lord encampeth around those that fear the Lord, right? Okay? So if you don't fear the Lord and you're not doing what you're supposed to do, guess what, man? You ain't got no protection, especially in these times that are coming, right? So let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, all right? Chapter 7. We're going to start at verse 1.
There's a book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 7, and verse 1. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee.
See that? The Lord said, do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee. All right? But you think that our people is thinking about that? Never mind the heathen. 2/3 of our people, do you think they're thinking about that? You think they're thinking about fixing their life, picking up their pants, putting down them guns, them switches, okay? Repenting for their sins, all right? Not committing abominations, all right? You think they thinking about, learning the ways of the Lord again, learning his name and praising the true power of Israel? No, all right? So evil is going to come to them. Why?
Depart from the unjust, and iniquity shall turn away from thee. My son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, and thou shalt not reap them sevenfold.
You see that? This is why evil is going to come upon them, because that's what they're sowing, all right? That's what they're sowing, all right? The furrows is those long, when you go to a farm, you see those long corn row type of rows that they till to plant, corn and all that stuff or whatever they're going to plant, all right? So it said, my son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, right? And thou shalt not reap them sevenfold. Okay, so whatever you're doing right now, just understand it's going to come back 7 times harder. And 7 means complete, all right? So the Lord is going to bring a complete disaster to you and your household, all right? You thought you got away with it, man. The Lord is colder than the feds, all right? The feds will watch somebody sell drugs for 10 years. This man think his operation is smooth running. Smooth sales, man, all right? And all of a sudden, they hit you with the RICO, all right? They got all your murders. They got all your drug sales. Okay, bunch of everything, wiretaps, video recordings, all right? Even they even got what they call agents, right? That infiltrated your affiliation. Okay, the Lord is cold like that. He's colder than that, man. All right, so the Lord will allow you. Go ahead, man. Go that way. That's a crash course collision, okay? Instead of directing you in the right direction, the Lord will be like, fuck it, man. Hey, let him go into that crash collision, man. All right? He's going to see what the end of the road is going to be right there, man. Okay? So you got to watch what you sow, because that's what you're going to reap. Okay? Matter of fact, let's get that. Let's go to the book of Galatians, right? Let's go to the book of Galatians. Let's go to chapter 6. Start at verse 7.
This is the book of Galatians, chapter 6, and verse 7. Be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked.
Be not deceived that Yahweh is not mocked. All right, and all you people are mocking Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. When you mock this truth, right, you're uttering that mockery towards Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, as the people did, right, when they left out of Egypt, right? They were murmuring in the wilderness. The Lord told Moses, these people did not murmur against you, they murmuring against me. And that's the same shit you're doing today, right? All these damn videos you make, right, scoffing, right? You want to talk shit. You're not talking shit against us. You're talking shit about the one who sent us to bring this message, okay? Right? Against the King of Kings. All right? So be not deceived that Yahweh is not mocked. Why?
For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
You see that? So all that shit you've been doing out there, just understand you got a nice ticket to pay. All right? And that shit's going, and you're going to be taxed. The Lord says sevenfold. So you're going to be taxed. All right? What you sold, okay, is going to come, right, sevenfold, man. A complete disaster is coming upon you. Okay? You better repent and hope that the Lord has mercy. Okay? Because the Lord said, right, that we be chastised in measures so we don't get condemned with the world. All right? So don't think that you're going to wait, okay, until Jacob's trouble comes. Then all of a sudden, you repenting, right? And now you want to come aboard. No, that's not the way it works. Okay? You're not going to play hopscotch with the Lord. All right? So do not be deceived. Go ahead.
For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption.
See that? This is why you niggas out there, right, that are reaping from the flesh, that are sowing to the flesh, right, are reaping corruption. Okay? Then all of a sudden you got Big Mama on the press conference talking about my baby Pookie was a good kid, right? Hector didn't do nothing wrong, right? He was such a loving kid. His smile lit up the room, okay? But you ain't know what Pookie and Hector were doing out there, right? Sowing corruption, sowing to the flesh and reaping corruption, okay? For whosoever has perished being innocent, all right? So ain't none of us innocent, okay? But you want to sit up there like, you know, you can't see your kid doing any wrong. No. That's not what the scripture says. And that's how we know you don't believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. You believe in the white man. Okay?
But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting.
See that? That's what we're looking for, man. That immortality, man. Life everlasting. Okay? This is the position that we're fighting for. Okay? We know the judgment that's coming, right, to you ungodly evildoers, man. Okay? We see it. We see it, but you don't, man. We see the demons in you as well. Okay? We see your countenance change all the time. You're looking through. You're dragging your ass, right, to work. Okay? Partying all weekend. Okay? Looking dead. All right? Talking about I'm a club promoter. You're promoting death. All right? You're promoting death, man. Bunch of pallbearers and caskets. That's all you're promoting. Okay? You're promoting mortuaries, right? Hospitals, okay? You're promoting dialysis, cancer, right? Liver cirrhosis, okay? Diabetes, all judgment. That's what you're promoting, okay? Talk about I'm promoting clubs and shit, okay? The foolishness of our people, man, to just get up every goddamn Friday night, right, after coming back from work, to go partying, right, waste their money, okay, just to slowly kill themselves, lose sleep, wake up on a Saturday, do it again, all right, and then try to recover on a Sunday, okay, to go back to the plantation. Broke, fucking miserable, okay, they ain't getting enough sleep, all right, they done spent $200, $300, right, drinking in the weekend, right, to impress some goddamn bitch, all right, or these women out there, you know, just trying to look for some different niggas, okay? This is what Babylon's about, all right? But judgment is coming, all right? There's going to be a great humbling, okay? And that's why I always say, a prudent man foresees the evil and hideth himself, all right? I no longer enjoy the environment, man. The other day, me and the brothers went real quick, you know, to the mall. Brother had to pick up some perfume. I'm looking around, And I'm looking at everybody walking around. I felt like the only real character in there, and everybody else being an NPC, just walking around oblivious to what the fuck's going on in life. Okay? This is what it felt like. I felt uncomfortable. My only comfort is being with my son, right? Working, doing this work with the ministry, right? Going to work out and going home, man. Relaxing. That's the spirit that I'm in right now, man. That's the only thing that brings comfort to me, you know? Being home on the weekend, you know? Put on a movie. Just go to bed early, you know? Let your body get some rest, you know? Let your spirit recharge, okay? For you to be able to endure, right? But these people are gonna bug out, right? Because they keep sowing to their fucking flesh, man. They keep sowing to their flesh. So, let's go to the book of Psalms, right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 1. We're gonna read this whole chapter.
There's the book of Psalms, chapter 1, and verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
You see that? So the Lord said, blessed is the man. All right? Blessed is the man. All right? We're not gonna sit here, right? Sit at a table with drug dealers or murderers or thieves or whatnot, right? Idolaters. Okay? We're not gonna walk with them people. Can two walk together unless they agree? Right? So blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly,
nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Go ahead.
But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night.
Right, because guess what? Sin is transgression of the law, right? So when you meditate in the law, you know, and these evil thoughts come upon you, you know, because we're in this corrupt flesh, you think about the law. You know, you might be thinking about a beautiful woman that got a man, and you're like, no. You know, you got to cut that shit off, right? That's adultery, right? You might look at a good pizza, right? And they're like, yeah, it got pepperoni on it, though. Oh, you're like, hell no, you know? You know, you can't eat swine, okay? Part of the law, all right? You know, you see somebody with a nice whip or whatnot, or jewelry and whatnot. Hey, that's good for them. We can't covet. We meditate in the law, all right, to not bring these evil thoughts upon us, all right, and give birth to sin, okay? So we meditate about this day and night to keep us correct, all right? Are we going to go off from time to time? We even have secret sins that we got laws we can't help but break because we in captivity, you know, and we in this corrupt flesh. But do we go off willingly? Nah, you know, we don't, okay? And sometimes we do fall. We in this flesh, all right? But that's why we have to repent, right? We have to examine ourselves and offend less, all right? You don't just say, well, you know, the blood of Yahweh Shai is going to cover me, Lord willing. So, you know, it is what it is. No. Okay, that's a wicked mindset, right? We have to meditate day and night, even though the law is not going to save us, but we show faith, all right? This is how we show faith. This is how we show love to the Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? By keeping the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of our ability.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
See that? Whatever you do, you shall prosper, okay? And if it's righteous, okay? If it's not a stumbling block, okay? Because a lot of people get that misconstrued and be like, well, you know, I tried being a boxer. I tried being an NBA player. You know, I haven't won the Mega Millions, or, you know, I was trying to be a rapper, okay? Well, if you're in this ministry, none of that shit's going to work, all right? Prosperity doesn't mean being rich, all right, here in America, all right? Prosperity, all right, is growing in this ministry, headed in the right direction, understanding the things that the Lord gives you and takes away from you is for your benefit, all right? Everything that glitters ain't gold, all right? You might have had a dope-ass woman that you were vibing with for 6 months, a year. All of a sudden, the Lord put it in her spirit to be like, you know, I don't want to be with you, or, you know, I think we should go separate ways or whatnot. Take heed. That's the Lord taking things away that you don't need, or stumbling blocks, okay? So prosperity is growing, right, in this truth, okay?
The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away.
See that? Because that destruction is coming, man. Right? That wind, which is that destruction, man.
Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous.
Go ahead.
For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish.
The way of the ungodly shall perish. You see that? So all these dudes out here, okay, you know, that are being sought after by these women because, you know, they out there, like I said, they drug dealing. They offer them an easy life where they can party. You know, they're catering to these women, okay? You know, paying for bottles in the club, taking them to after hours, right? Taking trips, okay? Got that easy life, all right? They're going to perish. There's going to be a time that these men are going to look through. These women are going to look through, okay? With nowhere to turn to, all right? And guess what? This is their fate, all right? They're going to be driven away by that wind, right? Their houses is going to collapse when that storm comes, okay? Because remember, the enemy is going to come in like a flood, all right? And Jacob's trouble is going to hit, all right? The 1/3, the elect, and the 2/3. But guess what's the difference? The difference is that the 1/3, right, is being covered by the blood of Yahushai, right? And by the right hand, which is Yahushai, the angels and Yahweh, okay? Got a mighty army, okay, spiritually and physically coming, man. All right, but the ungodly are gonna perish. There's no covering for them. There's no shield. All right, they're gonna be in the middle of a war with no shield and no weapon, okay, and no armor, as it says in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12, man. Right? They don't have no protection. Okay. So let's close it out. Let's go back to Psalms chapter 37. All right. Start at verse 1.
There's the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 1. A psalm of David. Fret not thyself because of evildoers.
You see that? So don't be mad. Don't be envious. Okay. Don't look at an evildoer like, damn. You know, look, man, I wish I had what they got. Yeah, what they got? Okay. They got a target on their back. All right. In a casket waiting for them. Okay.
Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Go ahead.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass, and wither as the green herb.
You see that? So they're going to be cut down. All right? They're going to be cut down. Okay? There's going to be a sword with boots on the ground, which is Esau Edom, right? Knocking on your door. Okay? That persecution is coming. All right? And then guess what? There's going to be another sword that's coming with 200 million warheads, all right, to hit America, all right? And you're going to be cut down by one of them, okay? One of them is going to cut you down, okay? Because an evildoer's judgment is death. There's no way around it, all right? And if you think that you have escaped the judgments of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, you have been deceived. But guess what? The deceiver and the deceiver are his, okay? So you were just another person born in vain. All right, just another character playing a role in the movie, all right, that had no importance. All right, you ain't make the end credits. All right, so you know, Lord willing, this was edifying, and with that, we gonna give all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai B'Hashem Rakakwadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us this truth, and I want to say shalom to the brothers and sisters that are in this truth. Shalom.
Shalom.
Abba.
Abba.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kum Yasharala.
Shalom.
Shalom.